Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Eric.
I'm Ty.
And we are ShantottoCast, back again with, we're unboxing something today.
Yeah, we're doing the Cloud vs. Sephiroth starter set. We've talked about a lot of starter sets.
Yeah.
We talk about the starter sets a lot, actually. And we try to stay current with, like, the box openings for these ones. So this literally came out...
This came out 3 days ago.
3 days. Yeah, it came out Friday.
Yeah. Well, 3 days from recording, at least.
So, bleh. Yeah, so it's still relatively new. A lot of people were freaking out about some of the cards in this deck.
I like that Sephiroth a lot.
Some cards probably need more attention.
Yeah.
There's some cards that probably... No, I don't think there's anything that needs less attention.
I mean, yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff in here.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, but we'll get into it. We'll open it and then just kind of tell you our thoughts about it. So, let's go.
Let's do our overview.
Good luck. Oh, we don't... Wait, one sec. We didn't do this.
What? Oh.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Ty. It's good.
No, I want to make it as hard as possible. But yeah, so standard fare comes with, hey. It comes with 2 of the things. I tossed these immediately.
I mean,
so I
yes. Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah. So it comes with 2 of
All right.
playmats. And then
what are we opening first? Which one? Good guys or bad guys?
You know, there's a really easy way to do this. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch the tiger by the tail.
Sephiroth, okay.
Wow. Here, we'll just put it off to the side. Make sure that the
I wanted to do it
focused.
sooner, but you kept pointing, and you reached right where my hand was going to go.
Yeah.
So, as usual, they're all stuck together pretty tight.
Yeah.
That's not news to anybody.
Yeah. I don't want to complain about it, but it does kind of suck when the first time you open it. So the first card is Sephiroth, which we get the full art, which is super nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just put everything out. Put reprints kind of off to the side.
Yeah.
Because we want to
don't really care about those so
stuff.
much. Restrictor for Azul.
Yeah.
We got Reno. We have Reeve. We have Rama.
Which is a good reprint.
Yeah. Don Corneo.
Yeah.
Kate Sith. Vibe check.
Yeah, the real card that everybody's freaking out about.
DGS Trooper. DGS Soldier.
Yeah.
Deep Ground Soldier.
Yeah.
The other Deep Grounds, yeah. Okay, more. That was
that's Sephiroth.
So quickly reprinted.
Yeah, it surprised me when I saw that in here, but at the end of the day, I was just like, that's actually a really good reprint.
Yeah.
3 of that Shiva, and then finally...
And then the Kadaj.
So
we have a pretty good range here of cards.
Yeah,
but,
a lot of 3-drops, which surprises me. Because usually for reprints, they only do 2.
Yeah, but we have a lot of stuff that's reprinted, so for that stuff, let's just... Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, this is the only good reprint, so we'll keep that.
I mean, I was gonna say that's a card we care about right now.
Yeah. So, all right, let's shove all the book off to the side.
Okay.
And then let's just kind of slowly go through them. So first,
let's take a look at Sephiroth here.
Which it's just that beautiful art.
Oh,
like it looks so nice.
So nice.
Like I was really worried that this was going to be pack exclusive, but it wasn't. The fact that it's a starter deck, that it starts out as a foil fall art starter deck. It was focused for a second.
Come on. You can do it. Come on, camera.
It wants to stay focused on yours.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, so very nice.
But the effect is also very nice.
Yeah.
So it's a 3-drop 9K.
Already above curve.
Yeah, so when Sephiroth attacks, dull all the forwards the opponent controls with 8,000 power or less. This straight up beats the Alphino from, what was it, Opus 7? Opus 6? Whichever one it is.
Opus...
Dull all forwards with less power than... Like, this is just power creep on that.
Yeah.
With that effect alone. But then, secondarily, at the end of each of your turns, remove 3 cards from your break zone from the game, or put Sephiroth in the break zone.
Yeah.
That's a really nice way of balancing it. I quite like that.
So I literally earlier today I tested the Sephiroth in a mono lightning deck because I was like, it's a good enough threat. I think I was playing against WAF, so I was just like, okay, I could literally swing and dull their entire board.
Yeah.
The only issue with it is the second effect. The cost really stops you from playing him early.
Yeah.
And that's when he's the best. Like, if you could somehow fill up your break zone super fast and then play him, he's good. If he can stay out for 3 turns, he's fine. Like, he's probably going to die anyway.
Right. You want him to get a couple hits in.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's a last couple turns kind of card.
Yeah, but he's already over curve, and we're already we could probably talk about the 4-drop Sephiroth that got spoiled last
week. We could do a whole episode about that card.
Yeah, but in the context of this, like, it seems like they're slowly going towards this, like, Sephiroth that's really good, but it has, like, this one restricting feature.
Sephiroth tribal deck when?
Yeah, honestly. But yeah, this one's, it's solid. I can't really see you running more than one of, but it's...
I'd run 2.
Really?
I'd run 2 of, just for consistency.
Yeah. But he's still good. He's very good for beginner players, but just being able to get a 3-drop 9K is super nice.
It also gives a fair balance on curve, or over curve, to understand why it's allowed to be so good. It's a really good example of that for new players.
And once again, removing your breakdown isn't ideal, but it's not exactly a huge thing in this game.
Yeah, well, also, Zemus isn't that huge, isn't that big a meta card right now.
Yeah.
And, people have the recursion in Lightning, but it's not a crutch that people lean on. It's not a cornerstone of Lightning decks.
You don't want to play it late game like you would play Sephiroth. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, so moving on to Sephiroth, from Sephiroth to Azul.
Yep.
The other new Lightning card. So, Azul, people were joking, is the new Dataluma. Let's see if we can get that. There we go. Nice art. So Azul is, when Azul is dealt damage, choose 1 forward the opponent controls, deal it 1,000. Damage 3, Azul gains when Azul is dealt damage, choose 1 forward the opponent controls, deal it 2,000. And then at damage 5, it gets the same effect but with 3,000. So... when you're at damage 5, it's a kind of better Dataluma, but there's a lot of factors that goes into that. And then on top of that,
it's only when he's dealt damage, and it's not when he's targeted.
And the other thing that made Dataluma so good was that it was in Earth, which had recursion.
Yep.
So you could potentially build this in a Lightning Wind deck using the same Cactuar strategy, but the Cactuar can only translate... You're basically 1-for-1ing the damage, right?
Yeah.
Until you're at damage 3.
Yep.
Damage 3? Yeah. Until you're at damage 3. When you're at damage 3, it's nice because every time you tap a Cactuar, you're technically dealing 3k in 2 segmented chunks.
Right.
But it's still not great. Like, he's only really good when you're at damage 5. Otherwise, he's just on curve body.
Yeah. The damage 5, don't forget your opponent is also... Your opponent's going to have advanced in their game as well.
Yeah.
So, there's a chance that they might have something they can do to him to remove him based on his damage status.
Yeah. Or even just, because he's a 3-drop 7k, he dies to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, because the big thing about Dataluma is he was just out of that 7k. He was just out of that 7k range.
Right.
But because Azul's in there, it makes it a little bit harder.
He's massively weak against empty boards.
Yeah.
He's massively weak against fire, which can kill him outright in one hit. Same with lightning as well.
Oh, he also doesn't have the targeting stimulation.
Exactly. So anything water that reduces, anything lightning that reduces his power is completely free and easy kill against him.
Yeah. Because even Dataluma was able to get that 4k off anyway. The fact that Azul can't, he feels like a balanced Dataluma.
He is actually a balanced Dataluma, and that's coming from somebody who really likes Dataluma as a card and didn't think it needed to be banned. Unban Dataluma, 2020. Hashtag unban Dataluma. Hashtag free Dataluma.
Yeah. So that was just not a.
It's an okay Dataluma.
It's an okay
Dataluma.
It's an okay Dataluma. It's a fair Dataluma, so it's not a great Dataluma.
Right.
The next card is Don Corleone. I'm going to pass you a copy.
Don Corleone?
Corleone. Is that it?
No, it's
Don
Corneo. You played more 7 than I did.
I played 7 once, and then I played Crisis
Never mind. Yeah. Anyway, so he's got 3 dull abilities as a 2-drop 5k ice.
I also have one because I totally forgot what this guy does.
Yeah, I didn't remember jack about it.
Show off the art.
So the first dull effect is put the top 2 cards of your deck into the break zone, choose a forward and dull it. So you basically mill 2 to dull something as well as dull himself.
Yeah.
That's a kind of a weak effect. Dull him. The second effect is dull him. Put the top 7 cards of your deck into the break zone. Choose a dull forward and break it. So if you can reactivate him, that's nasty.
So in a way, it's essentially a free Emperor.
Right. And then third effect, dull him. Put the top 15 cards of your deck into the break zone. Choose a forward. You gain control of it for as long as Don is on the field.
Yeah.
Now that one.
So we have a good, better, best. really, with this card, where it has two very strong effects.
Right.
But there's a lot of issues with it.
Yeah.
So number one being you're in ice.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really give him haste, so you can't play him and do an effect.
Right.
Which kind of sucks. Specifically because he's such a small body. He's a 2-drop 5k. He dies to a lot of removal. And I know that's kind of like a little meme with Magic of, oh, well, it dies to removal. But he's such a small body that there's a lot of things that will attack over him.
He's a quick and easy target. Very low-hanging fruit for many summons and abilities. But I'm also thinking, I'm brewing now, what about Self-Mill Fire Ice 7? With the Cloud, with him... With, you throw in Tifa's, you give stuff haste with some of the fire backups.
You just need more reasons to mill yourself, though. Like, that's the thing. Is
I know.
If we had, like, a Lab Man card...
Oh, yeah.
If we had something... Oh, mind you, here's our episode... once per episode Magic reference. There's a card in Magic called Lab Maniac, where if you have 0 cards in your deck, and if you draw, same with Final Fantasy, you lose. But if you have Lab Maniac out, you win instead. So if we had something like that, he could be better. Because the thing is, if he survives that one turn, you're milling yourself 15 and you're getting value by stealing something. Like, you're chopping your way through your deck, but you already go through your deck pretty fast in this game.
Yeah.
So that mill 15 is actually pretty relevant.
Right.
It's not a Yu-Gi-Oh! Mill 15.
Well, it's also not a Weiss Schwartz Mill 15, because you can just shuffle your deck back in.
Yeah.
But I'm still thinking, like, you have some of these effects that mill yourself, but it's a useful mill yourself. It's not for no reason.
Yeah.
It's the cost for an effect.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of some goofy stuff. I have some ideas of brewing now.
Yeah. The only issue is just having him survive. Because he has to stick on the board a full turn, which there's cards where that'll be worth it. Like, for example, the upcoming Orphan is probably worth that, because if you play it and if it survives the turn, you basically get to kill 2 things.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. But he doesn't have that much value.
True.
And he's so much more easy to kill.
I can't wait to see people make this card work, though.
Yeah,
because people are gonna make that card work.
We'll see.
Maybe might be this set, might be 4 sets from now. People are gonna make it work.
We'll see.
So, moving on, we have our backup Kate Sith.
Yep, Kate Sith. I've been jokingly calling it the vibe check card. It's very good.
2-drop backup, which already makes it great, but
there we go.
2-drop backup. When Kate Sith enters the field, your opponent reveals their hand. Okay, you could stop there. It's still an amazing card.
Yeah, still a decent card.
But you may select one card from their hand other than a backup. If you do, remove it from the game, and your opponent draws a card. Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah. So, as the ice player in this relationship, I want to talk about this card first.
Yeah, go you. That's all you, man. Go.
So when this card got spoiled, I was just like, yeah, it's pretty okay.
As Ty does.
And then, me underestimating every single card that comes out. And as our play group is talking about it a lot more, I'm like, oh, this is actually really good, though.
Yep.
Because number one, it's a 2-drop backup in Ice, which Ice only has so many good ones of those. Because your real targets are Jill Nabat, Harley. There's a Scholar.
There's the Sid.
There's several scholars, really. Sid and Gumba are like
Gumba.
Those are like your 5 good 2-drop ice.
Yeah. And you move into 3-drops, and that's suboptimal sometimes.
Because the big thing with ice backups is you can't. They very rarely. A 2-drop won't make the opponent discard. That's the big thing. And that's what you want to do. Like, as ice, you want to control the matchup. You want to control what you're doing. And 2-drop backups help you put out your Sephiroth and stuff, but they don't do anything by themselves. So Kate Sith, being this card that lets you kind of screw over your opponent, is really good.
It's vicious.
It's not as good as... Its effect strictly isn't as good as Zidane.
Right.
Where Zidane lets you rip any card out of their hand.
Yeah.
But, that being said, Kate Sith is still really good because, like, you see their backups, like, whatever. But if they have that key forward... You not only rip it out of their hand, you remove it from the game.
Yeah, so they can't get it back no matter what they do.
So a big thing that Ice has trouble with, and you can attest to this, is Felthanos.
Yeah,
Felthanos is a really rough card for Ice to play against.
Yep.
So to have Kate Sith, where it's like, oh, I'm going to play Gramus, search Felthanos, it's like, okay, I'm going to rip it out of your hand with Kate Sith.
Yep.
And on top of that, Ice is a card Ice is a color that has Kuja. So Kuja could break this Kate Sith so you could play another one. And on top of that, he's a 2-drop backup. Like,
there's just there's really no there's almost no downside.
The other big thing about it, so you said, when Kaseth enters the field, look at the opponent's hand. You said you could have ended it there. And you can if you want. You don't have to make the person rip something out of their hand.
Yeah, so then they don't draw something.
Exactly. Or, so they don't get that extra draw. Or, you look at what's in their hand. Let's say they have, like, Azul out, and they've got 2 cards in hand. One's a backup, the other one's Azul. You don't want to get rid of that Azul because it's a bad card.
Yeah.
So you could just be like, no, you could just keep that.
Or even worse, they've got 2 dark forwards.
Exactly.
And you're just like, suffer.
Yeah.
Now perish.
That's exactly what's good about Kaseth, is the thing is you put your opponent into that situation where, number 1, you're looking at their hand, and number 2, you get to say, I'm going to make you keep that.
Although that is one of the ways you can actually remove Eldnarsh from any kind of play. Yeah. Interestingly enough.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, exactly. He's an answer to Eldnarsh. The big thing is he's an answer to Felthanos and Arden, which are 2 cards that you can't. You get to preemptively kill it. And then I was playing a game of WoF today, and my WoF player had to play around my Kaseth. He knew I had it. He knew I had it in my deck, but he couldn't search out his rain because he knew as soon as he searched out that rain, if he couldn't immediately play it, I could Kaseth it. And every deck has one of those. I was playing a game against Rampier, where I was able to... He had Rampier out. I was able to rip the Shantotto out of his hand. I was able to rip the Kane out of his hand because he didn't have Shantotto yet. Like, I was able to rip his combo pieces out of his hand.
I mean, I played against one today, and I had 4 forwards and a backup. This is the second time this card hit me. The first time I had all backups, which was hilarious. But I had... Immediately, my opponent just sees Illawa, goes, yep, gone. No. Yeah. And that was my only answer to half of his cards that he was using... Yeah. Because he only had summons and dull abilities. Yeah. So he's always going to be 2-for-1s. He's like, not anymore.
Yeah, Illawa doesn't have the bubble in your hand.
Yeah.
Just get out of here.
Gone.
Yeah, and the most important thing about it, and this is something we talked about in our playgroup chat a lot, remove from play.
Yep.
They can't get it back.
Yep.
And that's what's so strong
about it.
Gone
forever.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a really good card. It's already kind of a staple in Ice. And it's probably going to stay like that for a while.
Yeah.
And then we're going to move on to a card that I feel like a lot of people underestimated, Kadaj.
Yeah, I want to see how this
even I really underestimated this card, so I'll read it out.
Go for it.
One sec, I want to make sure they can see it. There we go.
Here, I'll hold it,
okay,
and you can go ahead and you can read it.
All right, dope. Okay, so 4-drop 9K above curve. EX, also nice. When Kadaj enters the field, choose one of the 3 following actions. Choose 1 forward, dull it. Choose up to 2 cards from either player's break zone, remove them from the game. Choose 1 forward. Until end of turn, it gains 2,000 in Brave. At the end of each of your turns, you may remove Kadaj from the game. If you do so, at the end of your opponent's turn, play Kadaj onto the field. So, you're looking at that, and you're like, okay, 3 okay effects. And you could flicker it. Or it avoids... It's not a blocker, but it doesn't die. And that's solid, right? It's a lot better when you play against it. Because, number 1, you can't remove it on your turn if it phases out. Which is already a hassle. Unless you could force them to play another Kadaj, which would cause the ruling issue. Like, they have to flicker that out. So, and then number 2, those effects by themselves aren't great. But when you give them... once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, they really stack up. Like, I was playing against Rampier, and he slammed down Kadaj against me, and next thing I know, all of my fetchable targets, all my good targets in my break zone were gone. I didn't have a lot to fetch them out, but there were cards, he, like, got rid of my Flans. I'm like, okay, I can't Lucretius them back. He got rid of a Skeleton that he broke earlier. I'm like, I can't get that back. Like, and even, that's, like, the worst effect, really.
Yeah. This card is a good version of the Opus 5 pre-release promo with the lightning, the 2-drop hasty 5K.
Yeah.
This is that on roids.
Yeah, because the other crazy thing about it is it ends at the end of your opponent's turn, so you could swing with it on your turn. He's still a 4-drop 9K. That's still really good. And on top of that, if I'm correct, I think you may, so his removal effect is a May effect. So if you do need a blocker, you could just have him stick on the board.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm running him at 1 in Earth Ice, where he's just a free doll every turn. Like, and that's good enough. He's not the best card. He's not doing everything by himself.
No, but it's very much it's a very slept on card. Nobody's really been talking about it that I've seen.
Yeah. Nobody. by us has been talking about it too much.
But I'm excited to see a lot of the dark cards from this set are just going to be absolute fire.
Yeah. Which the new Chaos.
Yeah.
Which is an H, which I'm still having trouble wrapping my head around.
I mean, they had to make an L, didn't they?
Yeah.
So they made the Sephiroth.
Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about some Opus 12 spoilers at the end of this, or Opus 11 spoilers at the end of this. But so that was the.
Or will they be Opus 12 spoilers?
Yeah. I don't even know what sound that was.
Yeah. What?
But yeah, so that was. The thing is, those 6 cards. Oh, why are we looking at Sephiroth? Get you out of there. So the 5 new cards. The 5 new cards are good. At the literally, if you want to be super pessimistic about it, just from the Sephiroth deck, you're getting a playset of Cait Sith. Cait Sith is nuts right now. That's a really good card. Being optimistic about it, you get Cait Sith, Kadaj, and Sephiroth, which are 3 really good cards. Add an Azul, who could potentially find a home somewhere, and a Don Corneo, which could also potentially see a home. Like, if these 2 are the worst 2 cards here, it's not bad.
Is ice too good?
Is ice too good? Shut up. Shut up. I keep pitching is Weewa too good effects, and now Eric's trying to bully me about it. I'm going to exclusively play Weewa against you until we make that video. I'm gonna make her like miserable.
Cool. I'll just tech against specifically. I'll put an anti-Weewa deck and I'll only play it against you.
Good luck.
I'll find a way.
But yeah, so that's the Sephiroth deck. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good. It gives you playsets of pretty good cards. Even the reprints are really solid.
You get a full art.
Yeah, that full art looks beautiful. Because you get a playset of this Sephiroth, which is already good. You get a playset of Ramu, which is a really good card. There's some other stuff. Anguille Penances, I think that we saw that in Opus 3.
Yeah.
Like, that's a solid card.
I like the Shiva.
Yeah.
The Shiva's fine. I like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of decent cards in there, especially for a new player.
Oh, absolutely. For a new player, the dual decks are always an amazing value for new players. There is never anything. If you're a new player and you're complaining about these decks, you make it clear you're a new player. Your noob is showing.
Yeah.
So, moving on, though.
Okay, so we got the next deck.
The other Sephiroth deck. Check it out.
You get 2 playsets of Cait Sith. That's worth the full $25.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right? Alright.
Yeah. So,
sticky card. Oh, this is worse. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
So.
Cloud.
New Vincent. Vinny. Oh, the new Vincent stuff.
Old Vincent.
We got wedges.
2 wedge.
We got 3 Jesse.
3 Jesse. 2 minor.
The band and title Jesse, right?
2 minors.
Oh, 2 minor. Okay, there we go. 2 Marlene, 2 minors, 3 Titans. Oh, I love that card.
Good card.
3 Barretts.
Yep.
Red 13. Is this? No, that's the old one.
That's
the new one. Okay, yeah, you're right. It looked just enough like the old one.
Yeah.
This is the old Tifa.
Yep.
Opus 1 card coming back 9 sets late. Ooh, this Zac.
Yep.
That's a good reprint.
That's the thing, is like each one of these decks has a recent good reprint.
That's right. I forgot.
Well, even this Red Mage is a good reprint too.
2 Black Mage, 3 Sage.
Another good reprint.
4 Phoenix.
And 3 Phoenix.
And the Light Aerith. You know what?
Yeah.
Let's move these Sages away here. Goodbye. Aerith and Zac gotta be by each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no joke. We talked about that in my office.
Nice.
But yeah, so this is the Cloud deck. So things that immediately stand out: 2 minor. That's a really good staple card. 3 Jesse. That's a good card specifically for this.
Marlene searches half the deck.
Marlene's
basically.
Yeah, Marlene's good. Titan's a good reprint. This Red Mage is a good reprint. Nice to see that Phoenix again.
I mean, it's relevant for this deck.
Yeah. And then Vincent, despite the fact that it doesn't seem like much, is actually a really good card.
Yeah.
I really like it. And the fact that it can search out this boy is really nice.
Very underappreciated. Yeah. So let's scoop all these out of the way. I'm not going to be as mean to this deck as the villains one. But we're still
This is the deck to be mean at. This is the one to be mean at. So, anyway.
Ty's cyberbullying a deck IRL.
Says the person who just said that they were cyberbullying the Sephiroth deck. This doesn't have a playset of Cait Sith. Anyway, so...
Okay, your ice is showing, Ty.
Okay, so this new Cloud. So, obviously, very pretty art. Oh, my God.
2 drop 5, create Earth forward. His effect is dull him. Put 1 category 7 forward into the break zone. Search for 1 forward that costs 1 CP more than the forward put into the break zone, and play it onto the field. doesn't say dull. You can only use his ability during your main phase.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So
that's an okay effect.
Here's our mandatory second allusion to Magic the Gathering in the episode. So there's a card called Birthing Pod, where it has that exact effect, where it's tap it, kill something that you control, play something that costs 1 more.
Yeah.
That card's really broken. This one, not so much.
Yeah, it's not as
but
big
it's
a deal.
because of other reasons. So the big thing about Birthing Pod is that it was our equivalent of a monster. It was an artifact. So you could immediately tap it the second you play it. The fact that Cloud has to wait a turn kind of hurts, because it's a tap effect. And the fact that he can only target a Category 7 card isn't great, but it's still a Birthing Pod effect.
Yeah.
It's still a very strong effect. Just the fact, and the funny thing is, it works very well with these cards, right? So, like, you can Barret into Aerith, you could Vincent into Red 13, you could even Red 13 into the 5-drop Vincent and Search. Like, you have a lot of really good... Just in this deck, you have.
And I don't see anything on this, so he can't do it to himself.
That's a good point.
He can do it to himself. Get a 3-drop Cloud with the EX if you wanted.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah, so if he sits around for a turn, you could even give him Brave somehow, and he could swing in and then do the effect.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. So, like I said, it's the problem with it. It's the same problem that Don Corneo has. Is he's a 2-drop 5k body.
Yeah, he's
not exactly
target.
hard to kill.
Yep.
But at the same time, if the opponent doesn't have removal, if the opponent just burned out their board to play a big board, you get a Birthing Pod.
Yeah.
Which is very good. If they can't get rid of it, if they can't dull and freeze it, if they can't deal with it, that's a card that will win you the game.
Oh yeah.
Just being able to constantly swap out your board for something else.
So during. Say something's frozen, right? Yeah, okay, cool. This thing got frozen. Man, I really wish I could use this 3-drop right now.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I don't need to.
Yeah.
Kill it, get a 4-drop, boom.
Yeah.
Big boy. Do this with Kadaj.
It is worth to note that you can only do that during your main phase.
Right.
Which kind of sucks, because you can't block and then do it. You can't do any combat tricks with it. You can't be super fancy with it. But
they knew that would be abused as hell. Though.
Exactly. The thing is that if it could, it'd be very abusable.
Right.
This is a very fair Cloud. This is a very fair Birthing Pod.
Yeah, and something we always preach to people when we're trying to convert them, quote unquote, is the game is balanced. The creators are aware of how to balance this game.
Yeah.
This is a perfect example.
Yeah. So it's a good card. I'm really excited to see what Bruce people have with it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it'll be crazy.
No, it's not going to be broken, but it's going to be usable. There's definitely... People are going to get real creative with this one. I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move away from Cloud. And which one do you want to go on to next?
I want to talk about Vincent.
Okay.
I like this Vincent.
Yeah, so there's a lot to talk about on this new Vincent. So,
oh, my God. All right.
I'll read them.
You go ahead and read that.
So, no ETBs, no auras, nothing. Immediately starts off with Death Gigas, which is a special, which you just pay 1 Vincent for.
Come on.
Until end of turn, Vincent gains plus 1k, first strike, and when Vincent attacks, choose 1 dull forward of cost 4 or less, break it. Damage 5, he gets another special called Chaos. Vincent gains 3000 power, first strike, and when Vincent attacks, choose 1 character, break it. This effect does not end at the end of the turn. So, that first effect, it's okay, right? It's good. Just being able to just crack something is nice. That second effect, though, the fact that it doesn't end at the end of turn, and this was the big tipping point for our play group, is when everybody said, oh, you could stack that.
Yep.
So if you have 2 Vincents in hand, it also doesn't have an activation cost, which is insane. So you literally go into your main phase. If they don't kill Vincent, you can say, okay, I'm going to discard 2 Vincents. I'm going to swing in with Vincent. He's a 13k first strike, and also I get to kill 2 things for free.
Deal with it.
For free. The fact that all he has to do is swing. Mind you, there's a lot that can get in the way of him swinging.
Right.
But if he gets a swing off, being able to just pop to anything is insane.
That's a board murderer. That's just a ruin.
Yeah, like our play group is joking about just like having 1 turn where he can go off, where you just discard 3 Vincents and then you just win the game. You kill their backup lineup. You kill their forward lineup. Like, you can do whatever you want with that Vincent. The only problem is getting to that.
Right. So it's definitely a glass cannon, but boy, it's a glass cannon filled with every dangerous material you've ever heard of, and fired at a very, very high rate of speed.
Yeah, that is the thing to worry about it. Like, this is a card, much like the Cloud. I feel like a lot of the cards are kind of like this. Much like the Cloud, it's a card that if it gets out of control, it's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, that is a card that it's a lightning rod because you know how dangerous it is.
Yeah.
Any player who can read effectively will know what you need to do. You're gonna be reaching for those summons. You better have your Millennium Puzzle and use your magical top deck cheating magic.
Yeah, it's really an all or nothing card. Really, because you want to play it when you have 5 damage. You want to play it when you can do the special. Other than that, it's a vanilla, which is rough. It's a vanilla with a good S, but it's still kind of a vanilla.
It's very subject to any kind of blink effect because you'll have to reactivate the special.
Yeah. Though to be fair, the opponent won't really be blinking your stuff.
They'd be unwise to do that. Yes, but it's possible.
Unless they could just bounce it back to hand, in which you have to reset.
Right, but Earth Ice is gonna have some fun with it though.
Yeah, Earth Ice can. We'll see. Like, this is another card. It's funny because with the Sephiroth deck, there were cards that we were able to say this is an objectively good card, and this one is when we're getting kind of iffy on it. Like, there's all these cards are really good, but there's things that you have to rely on.
Is the risk worth the reward?
Yeah. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on your matchup, really.
Right.
But yeah, I still think this Vincent's good. I feel like it'll find a home somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like there might even be like a hard Vincent control deck or something.
Hey,
like
maybe.
Vincent aggro.
Yeah. Hey, Vincent Power. Push power replaced with Vincent.
Yeah. I mean, we have enough Vincents to do that. Yeah. Really.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's an interesting card.
Yep.
We'll see if it does anything. So
we'll put the two Moody boys next to each other.
Yeah. Barrett or Red 13.
Or Aerith. There's a third option, Ty.
I know. That's a different color. We're moving Aerith off.
Oh, now we're separating by colors now. Separate but equal, huh?
Yeah.
Ty, what's wrong with you?
Exactly. It's a light card. Why would I play a light card when I play Kadaj? Anyway, so Red 13. I'm going to read it. You hold up the card. If you control a Category 7 forward other than Red 13 gains 1,000 power, haste, and first strike. So, really boring effect. Not a bad card.
Come on. There we go. Now focus.
Having a little trouble there, B?
Oh, shut up. Nobody likes you.
Yeah. So it's an interesting card. You can put it down now.
Yes, sir.
And it'll be good in a 7 tribal deck. It'll be good in title. But I don't think it's that impressive.
It's close. It's similar enough to the other Red 13.
Yeah, the haste and first strike is nice. But
it's a vanilla AK 4-drop AK. I almost said AK 4-drop.
Yeah. Once again, if you're playing with just this deck, it's going to be good. Especially if you're doing one versus the other. Like, that Red 13 is going to be a bomb. Yeah. It's going to be really good.
Right.
But in constructed play, I can't see it seeing a whole lot of play.
No, I could see it doing that.
I feel like if it had a better ETB, maybe. Or if it had an ETB, rather.
I mean, there's enough other 7s that, like, this is going to fit into 7 tribal. It'll be fine. It'll be there.
We used to talk about it a lot, but not so much recently. It's a decent target, or it's a decent card for 7EX.
That's what I was saying.
Because it's almost always going to be on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's more or less what I'm saying here. Yeah, I mean, for I almost said an 8-drop 4K. For a 4-drop 8K, again, if you're only going to put this in decks that have the 7 synergy, so it should theoretically always be online. I think it's all right for that. Like, it's this deck's equivalent to having a Fordola. Yeah. Basically, without the remove effect, and it'll be fine. I think it'll be interesting.
When you freeze it like that, it is a bit better, isn't it?
It doesn't mono fire even. You put it, 5-drop Cloud or Zac, and you just throw this out.
Yeah, you are running both of those. Or even the thing is, this would also make a great aggro card with the haste Tifa.
It'll function.
Yeah,
like it's not an all-star player, but it'll function.
It's not terrible.
Yeah, it's the good support system.
Yeah. To quote a game I very much have enjoyed, Persona 5. Not great, but not impressive. It's good. But we'll see. It has a very niche deck to go into, and I don't think it'll really perform outside of that. Like, people aren't going to be teching in Category 7 cards just to play this.
Mm-hmm.
But in a Category 7 deck, in 7 Tribal, it's going to be great. He's a warrior. What? He's a warrior job.
Oh, hey.
That's interesting. Okay, so there's
Good
a little
catch.
There's a little interaction with that. Okay, weird. Anyway, moving on. So we got Barrett.
Barrett.
Do you want to read him?
Yeah, I'll read Barrett. All right, let's go. So 3 drops, 7k EX burst, avalanche operative. So actually he's searchable by, I believe, Wedge or what's the other guy's name? But yeah, so EX, when Barrett enters the field, choose a forward opponent controls.
Sorry, one second. I'm very bad at focusing the camera.
Oh, you gave me so much flaw. Are you having trouble there, bud?
There we go.
Having trouble there?
Cover up everything else.
But yeah, so when Barrett enters the field, choose one forward opponent controls. Deal 1,000 damage for each Category 7 character you control. Yeah. If Barrett results from an EX burst, deal it 2k for each Category 7 character instead. Now that does say character, so that counts backups. Theoretically, that counts monsters.
Yeah.
And forwards as well. And if somehow a summon became a forward or became a character, sure, why not?
Yeah.
We're all inclusive here. So, yeah, again, one of those functional cards that has its synergy existing.
Yeah. So it's the big thing about it is that the ETB is great.
Yeah.
And this is even pretty good. Well, I don't know. I'd argue. We'll get into the old cards first.
Yeah.
Or in a later. But just the ETB is great because it's really not. If you built a hard 7 tribal deck, it won't be hard for you to have multiple 7 backups.
Right.
And it's not also terribly hard to swarm the field. Like, I think. No, the WROs aren't in here. But that Barrett with the WROs, where it's very easy to populate a field full of them, is super nice. Yeah, that's a good point. Zach.
That's all I could think of when I saw that effect. I'm like,
Like, Barrett just gets to overkill anything, even if you just have the Zach out.
Yep.
Let's say you have 4 just completely irrelevant backups.
Right.
And you play Barrett, like, being able to just say, like, oh, cool, I get to basically kill something whenever Barrett enters, it's nice.
Yep.
It has a lot of really good synergies.
And as a 3-drop, that's a pretty good cost for it because you can just do so much with that.
It's more or less a removal spell. It's basically a good way of putting this is it's a forward Black Waltz.
Yeah.
Where when it enters, you do get a good effect, and on top of that, it's a body. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's a solid card. Once again, it will only really see play in 7 tribal.
And I really think, and he's probably only going to be a main phase 2 play.
He is.
Probably, yeah.
Or even just, I need to kill that so I can swing through. So not an insane card, but still solid. Like, that's still a good EX burst. That's still a good ETB.
Mm-hmm.
No, even if it can't be repeated or not too much. The problem with this Barrett, though, is how it compares to the 5-drop Barrett. Because the 5-drop Barrett is Earth forward, whenever it swings, reveal top 4, add a 7 character. That's really good.
It's not only good, it's a better card to have stay on the field.
Yeah. And that other Barrett's an EX as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's worth it to probably run maybe like at least one of that.
Right.
But the big thing to consider if you're doing a 7 tribal deck is you really should consider the 5-drop one a lot more.
And considering that most of 7 stuff is exclusively Earth Fire.
Yeah. Or at least this half of 7
and Barrett doesn't have a special unless you're running the old Barrett.
Yeah.
With, I think it's grenade launcher or machine gun or something. I forget the ability name.
Though there is the new one coming out that has a ridiculous special. You have to pay 8 for it total with the Barrett you discard, but yeah, I think it'll be worth a 1 of.
Yeah, for sure.
Same with the new one. I feel like the new one is probably going to be worth a 1 or 2 of.
Yeah, but we'll get into that when we do our unboxing of the actual set.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so not bad.
Barrett's
Once again, not bad, but not impressive. Like it's.
Zach. Sorry.
And then the third card, which I feel like the dark card, is a little underrated. I feel like this Aerith is really good. Yeah.
It's a 4-drop 5k, so that's really undercurved, but the ability will hopefully, balance it out. She's a forward, job ancient. When Aerith enters the field, choose up to 2 Category 7 characters in your break zone other than Aerith, add them to your hand. So that's pretty good. So you can basically pitch 2 and then just get her back, play her. So it's free, effectively, if you're playing 7 tribal. Secondary effect, one of any color, dull her. Put Aerith into the break zone, select one of the following 2 actions. Choose one Category 7 forward you control, dull it. It gains this forward cannot be broken until end of turn. Other effect is choose one dark forward and break it. So this might be a direct answer to certain dark cards, but I think it's definitely not going to be that big a deal against certain others.
Yeah.
Particularly some of the older dark cards. I think it's an answer to some of the upcoming dark cards, more so.
So, so quick shout out to Brian from NV Games. Quick shout out to Nick, because he's Nick. But quick shout out to Brian, because Brian pitched something very interesting towards me, where you run a slightly more 7-centric Ice Earth with Aerith at the helm. So at any point, you get to basically just discard 2 Sephiroths, and then you get an Aerith for free, then you get those Sephiroth back. Or you pay normally for the Aerith, and you get the Sephiroths back.
Yeah.
And the important distinction with Aerith is that she targets characters.
Yep.
So if you pitch a Jessie, because you just want to...
You already have... Or you already have
there you go, you get it back.
Yeah.
You could pitch a Jessie for it. You could pitch... I'm trying to think of other Ice 7 cards you run. Sephiroth.
Yep.
Or Sephiroth. Or... I think... Is the new Kadaj Ice? The Opus 11 Ice?
Yeah, it might be.
You could pitch the Kadaj for it. The Searcher Kadaj. I'm trying to think of other 7. You could pitch Deep Ground Soldiers for it. You could pitch WROs for it. And you get them all back for free.
I mean, this is a card that, like a lot of these cards in these starter decks, or rather, a lot of cards with this tribal-centric stuff, Title.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to repeat it.
Yeah,
Title.
that card's going to be really good.
This card is legit broken in Title.
It's literally flash 2 cards from your hand, give me this. Or literally get rid of 2 cards in your hand to add any 2 cards from your break zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Hand, and also get a 5-drop forward that gets to kill something.
Yep.
Potentially. But yeah, this is how I feel like this card's underrated, because not a lot of people were talking about it, and despite the fact that it is under curve a lot, it's a 5-drop, or it's a 5k 4-drop, the fact that you more or less play it for free...
Yeah, you basically play it for free.
...is what really pushes it over.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
You can't argue about a free card, regardless of the cost, right? Like, if... Yeah. Like, regardless of the power. Like, it could be a 1k and be like, well, it's free, so...
And even the tab effect is decent. Like, the thing is, it's a 4-drop 5k, so and you already got your value out of it the second you play it. So people aren't going to be super worried about killing it. Like, they'll kill it, but it's not a priority of them.
Yeah, well...
So it's more, unlike Don Corneo, where it has this very dangerous effect, you have 2 okay effects that don't cause a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to kill that Aerith.
Yeah.
Unless I know I have a dark character.
And I think one of the biggest things that people might... Well, I don't think people are going to be, kind of dumb enough to miss this, but it might take a minute to figure out for some people... is that, you can use this to get rid of cards that you already have on the field. Like, okay, you have a Jessie in back and you have a Marlene in back. Cool. I have 2 of those in hand now. I'll get rid of them. Oh, oops. Now I have a Barret. Now I have a Cloud. Now I have a Tifa. Whatever. Yeah. Now I get those on the field. Yeah. And deal with it.
At the very least, I want to put this into my 7EX deck.
Yeah.
Just because... it just gets you so much. The thing is, if someone gets rid of your 5-drop Cloud and you just don't want to mill 10 for it, you could just get it back.
Main phase 2.
And this is also another insane card with Jessie.
Yeah.
Because just being able to get a discount on everything and to be able to pitch it for a free forward and get it back, like, that's what's really good about this card. I want to say it's underrated, but I feel like it's just not talked about as much.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't need to be talked about like crazy, because again, it's specifically Final Fantasy VII stuff.
Yeah.
But with all these new cards coming out based around the remake, I mean, we're going to get some strong value out of this for at least a set or 2.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes after that.
Yeah.
It'll definitely have a presence in L3, I think.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah. So, come Opus 11.
Yeah, come Opus 11.
So the Cloud deck is also pretty good.
Yeah.
Going back over the reprints really quick, we've got 3 Titan. That's a very good summon for newer players. This Tifa's good for newer players. I've even seen this Soldier seeing some play in tournaments.
Huh.
This Jessie's nice to have. The Vincent's nice to have. We could pass those off to the side. Marlene's really good for 7EX. Which I will
Marlene and Wedge are alright.
Miner's solid.
Yep. Sage is okay. It gives haste.
Sage is okay. Whoops. This Phoenix is okay. The Red Mage is okay. Let's bring this other Zac from out of there. Like, it's a good deck.
It's definitely a deck. I love how these decks also, not only the cards individually match the theme of 7 and everything else, but the flavor coming from the deck structure of all these 7 cards in the Fire Earth deck with the hero side. They work together. They're synergistic. They're focused on working together to overcome the enemy. Whereas the villains, they're all, hey, these cards are individually awesome.
Yeah.
But they don't do anything for each other. Yeah. They're just strong on their own.
Yeah.
But when they fall, they fall.
That's a good observation.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So I feel like this is a good thing to start off with.
Oh,
if
absolutely.
you and your friend are super hyped for Final Fantasy VII Remake, we know we are.
Yep.
It's good because you could just grab a friend and just be like, hey, you excited for 7 Remake? Let's play this Cloud versus Sephiroth thing.
Yeah, you're waiting on the midnight release line, and it's you got about 4 hours to go. But
you just happen to have a dinner table that you can just pull out of
nowhere
and just play a card game on.
Right?
It. You're good.
What? You don't have an infinity cube just sitting around? Yeah. 4-dimensional space?
Oh, I was gonna mention just carrying one of those like dinner trays with you.
Oh,
I've seen people do that before, where they bring a dinner tray to like a pre-release, and they're just like, okay, we're playing something.
Yeah.
I remember, I think at PAX when your Jackbox brought like a little Pola TV.
Oh yeah.
With a little generator on it, and people were playing Jackbox while
That's
they were
hilarious. Yeah. No, I was thinking of Jimmy Neutron, the Infinity Cube, or whatever he called it. His infinite space cube. He built
was it just like a box of holding?
No, it was an infinitely deep, 4-dimensional space that you could just shove whatever into, regardless of its size. It would just be condensed down into the because he broke physics like 30 times in that show. But that's
not counting all the times that the animators forgot to make sure it doesn't completely mess up.
I mean, yeah.
I remember. Sorry to go off track for a second, but there's a little bit in Jimmy Neutron where a character's singing, and if you watch closely enough, her tongue like rises through her face.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. But anyway, so back to the review. So yeah, both of these decks are good.
Yeah.
Even if you're a new player, they're good. They kind of teach you the ins and outs. As we see, there's some kind of more complex effects.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially compared to normal starter deck stuff.
Yeah.
Because before we had Minfilla, which is like search and then break something, or Ida or Papalymo, we're seeing cards like Sephiroth, where he has a legitimate cost. That Cloud is once again a birthing pod, which is not a simple effect.
Right.
Like, people have to think about that. Like, do I have enough 5-drops in my deck? Do I have enough 4-drops in my deck?
The flavor of that Sephiroth also just hit me, of how they're genetic experiments, and there's a cost to them being so powerful that they degenerate and like hurt themselves.
It's also a reference to Advent Children, because you remove 3.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It reminds me of, there's a chapter Sephiroth that it's a dark, and I think it's 8-drop for a dark Sephiroth. And I think when it enters, you get to kill something. But so kind of similar to the
one we have now, the backup killer,
Yeah. Or no, the Opus 11 one.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of the same card, but it costs more.
Yeah.
But the difference between that and the one that we're going to be getting in the near future is you could discard it into remove from play at any time you want, and then you could play it from remove from play by breaking 3 forwards you control.
That's cool too.
And the big thing about it is whenever it died, it'd go back to remove from play, so you could do that infinitely. The only problem is you needed 3 characters.
Right.
Once again, a reference to Advent Children.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, and this is everybody knows Opus 11 is going to be a 7-centric set. We've got Tifa.
Yeah, no, that's surprising. If it's surprising you, I hate to break it to you. You've been living under a rock.
Yeah, like we have another Sephiroth. We're probably going to get a light Cloud.
Yeah,
that's what everybody's
I wouldn't be surprised. Right now. Or a light Aerith. Yeah. Another one.
Yeah, and then we've already seen a new. Did we see a new Vincent? I know we've seen a new Barrett. Obviously, we've seen a new Tifa. Like, the thing is, this is a great time to pick these up because they will work with Opus 11.
Yeah.
That's
the ultimate point. It's the point, though.
Yeah.
So just to move us forward a little bit, let's rate these decks individually and then together.
Okay.
So what do we rate the Heroes one, since it's already in front of us? Out of 10?
Out of 10, you go first. I'm still kind of thinking.
So this will be in a bubble, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of the current climate of the game, the meta, all the weird tech out there, all this stuff. As just a deck by itself in a vacuum, I would give this about a 7.5 out of 10. Mm-hmm. The synergies are great. All the interesting effects on these characters working with each other and by themselves are pretty unique and clever. Definitely a welcome addition to this game, even if they're not, super creatively original in card games in general. But it's definitely some new stuff to Final Fantasy VII, or to Final Fantasy TCG rather, and it's just cool. I like it a lot. I don't think it's as good as it could be, but if it were better, it would be too good. So that's the point. It's a startup. It's balanced well with itself. Yeah. So 7.5 out of 10 is my ultimate verdict on this deck.
So the cloud end of it, I'd probably give it closer to a 6, only because maybe a 5.5. And I know I'm being harsh, but the big thing about it is these cards, as you said earlier, work really well with each other. And I feel like that. Actually, no, I'm going to switch it back to a 6. So they work very well with each other, and that's very true. The problem is that's kind of all they do. Yeah, they only work very well with each other.
And I'll acknowledge they kind of need each other too.
You can't play these out of a Final Fantasy VII vacuum, and that's my kind of issue with this deck. Is all of these cards you have to play with 7. You have to play with other 7 cards. Every single one of the new cards outside of Vincent relies on having Category 7 cards, and that's my issue with it. Is like you basically have to run these 3 together, and you have to run Aerith. Like you have to run these 4 cards almost together to get like the full value off of them. And you need to run Zax, and you need to run the other Vincent. Like you need to run a lot of 7 stuff, and 7 isn't great right now. It'll probably get there again because it's 7, and everybody loves 7. But right now it's not there, and that's my only issue with it. Otherwise, I think it's great for beginners. I think it's great for even advanced players. It's also really good once again from what I hear, it's pretty balanced against the other deck. I'm actually going to be testing that with my girlfriend a little bit. We should probably run a game or 2 of it.
Yeah, we will. I'm sure.
So I ultimately give this one a 6. Like it's good for newer players. It has some decent staples, but all of the starter exclusive cards are a little too reliant on each other, or they're a little too risky, I suppose. Right. I'm specifically talking about the Vincent.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, that's what put me at a 7.5 instead of like a 10. Yeah. Because, again, in that vacuum, the 7 synergy, you need to play by. That's the point, is that they all have to work together. But yeah, so this deck, we have different opinions, but like we're both agreeing it's a great deck, a great value, and it's, super interesting by itself. Yeah.
Okay, now let's move on to the important one.
On to villains. So you want to go first on this one? You go first on this one.
Yeah, so if we're sticking to the out of 10 score, I'm giving this one like a 10 because you have 2 cards that are misses out of all the original ones, right? Yeah. The only cards that are actual misses are Azul and Don Corneo. But Kate Sith, Kadaj, and Sephiroth literally make up the work. Yeah,
they put on the backpack on this one. They carry it.
So, as you said earlier, to quote you again, like, these cards work by themselves very well. This Kate Sith is a staple now. Yeah. Like, that's a staple card. That Kadaj is a very good card, and we'll probably see some level of competitive play. Same with that Sephiroth.
Oh, that's Sephiroth, yeah.
The Sephiroth is the worst out of these 3, and it's still really good. Yeah. Like, that's my whole thing about these. And then on top of that, the reprints in this deck...
the Rama,
the Shiva, like this deck has a lot of good stuff in it. Yeah. And these 3 really make it. Like that's what actually really pushes this deck to a 10 for me. It's insane. And once again, I heard that if you play these 2 against each other, it's pretty even. I actually heard people say that the Cloud deck's stronger, but we want to test that first.
Yeah, well, it's also all subjective, too, because the player's knowledge and skill and strategies and adaptability also are factors.
Exactly. So. But these cards, this whole deck is just good. Yeah. It's good for players to start with. There's nothing too complex in here. Maybe Kadaj. Or the thing is, I also just realized this Sephiroth doesn't actually explain what back attack is. Yeah. It doesn't have the reminder text.
I mean,
but
that's
something that they could read in the.
It's in the manual, and none of the cards actually. Only the old Scarm has that.
Yeah, actually, I wonder if that is on. There's a couple cards that have it now, but.
No, but I'm saying the reminder text though.
Yeah.
No, it's only one.
Really?
I want to say it's only the Scarm.
Oh, it's Scarm and Carbuncle. Because Carbuncle, the 2-drop Earth.
Oh, well, because the vanilla with back. Yeah, they had space.
I mean, same with Scarm. Scarm's a vanilla.
Yeah.
Outside of back attack, but. Yeah, so these cards, it's good. Like, this comes with a lot of really good stuff. I think the only thing I would have added to it would be a Rufus. Entirely because it's running Reno.
Right, yeah.
That would be literally it. Like, that. Otherwise, I think the deck's fine. By itself, it's fine. These cards in a vacuum are fine. These cards with other cards are fine. Like, I don't know. I just think that these cards are just so good.
Yeah.
That it really pushes the rest of the deck up.
Okay. So you gave it basically a straight 10.
Yeah.
So my verdict on this one, I don't want to say conflicted, but like, I do think it's a sub 10. I would put this at like an 8.
Okay.
Because the good cards are really good. There's a lot of synergy in here, but there's a few cards that aren't really that useful. That just no matter how much the good cards pull it up, they're just kind of cards that you don't really want to play that often. Reno, more often than not, I mean, yeah, dealing something 3K is nice. Like, it's a good way to finish off of a Zool or something.
Yeah.
I just don't think it holds his weight. He's a 2-drop, which is probably his biggest draw.
Yeah.
Like the black, the black mage, you have to choose a dull forward as opposed to an active forward.
Yeah.
So those kind of work against each other, which again, flavor great.
Yeah.
Function, not so much. Shiva, good card. Rama, good card. DGS stuff, good card.
Yeah, I think that the DGS is especially important for newer players.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, because the thing is, the big thing with both of these decks, and the one big credit that I'll give them, is that they are tailored towards newer players.
Well, oh yeah,
but
absolutely.
they have good stuff for the older players.
Problem is the ice and the lightning are kind of conflicting. Like Restrictor, okay, that's a Zool play, that's whatever. But the dulling and the active type stuff is a frustrating. That's a frustrating thing to deal with. Them always conflicting.
Well, it's doomed if you do, doomed if you don't.
Yeah, basically. And then
it comes with a Searcher for Kate's, the best card in the game.
Yeah, Revis. Yeah, no, it's good. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, that's the only Ice Lightning synergy there is in this whole deck.
Yeah.
So it's if this deck was one color or the other, that'd be fine.
Okay, that card's actually really good though.
Oh well, yeah, of course the hate. Yeah, it was always gonna be good. Yeah. But so. Yeah, Angeal having this effect, with you could use all the backup stuff to deal them damage, attack or deal damage, whatever. That's cool.
Yeah.
But there's just a couple cards in this deck that I don't think pull their weight, and having those just kind of dysfunctional slots kind of pulls things down. But it's very minor, so again, it's an 8 out of 10. It's still really good, and I still think on paper it looks better than the 7 synergy. Or the hero synergy. You get the other deck.
It's funny because I feel kind of the same way that we described when we did Knights versus Wraiths, where I tore that deck apart. I'm like, yeah, it's a must buy. Like, I was just like, that card's not good. That card's not good. They shouldn't have reprinted this. That's a good reprint, but it's only at 2. Yeah, you gotta buy this.
Right. But yeah, no, like I like the deck. I really like the deck. I think I'll use these cards more than I use the other ones. But yeah, again, those dead cards are just just ballast at that point. At some point.
Yeah. So let's move on to the full review.
Yeah, the full review. The
now we're gonna actually review everything.
Yup.
But so let's get all of these boys together. Thank you, Dosh. Actually, I think Don Corneo's the face card of that deck. Just kidding. Screw you. So, as a package, I'm going to say the same thing I said versus Knights versus Wraith. I kind of, I was kind of poo-pooing the Cloud deck, and you had some good points about the Sephiroth deck not being 100% up to snuff. I still think this is a must-buy. And we have to say we're not sponsored by Squeenix.
I wish.
They didn't ask us to do this. I have to give this a glowing review still.
Yeah.
There's still some cards in there that is basically bulk. There's still some cards in there, like the cloud cards, the cloud deck cards, they rely too much on each other, they're blah, blah, blah. But you're going to find some mileage with them. You're going to find a deck for them. And by itself, just putting these two decks against each other is fine. A big thing about Final Fantasy duel decks that I much prefer over Magic duel decks is they really do feel like they were tailored for both new and old players.
Yep.
But you get a duel deck in Magic, like some of them, mind you, there's exceptions to this rule, but a lot of them were like very tailored towards new players.
Yeah.
Like, you basically only really use them with new players.
We'll also consider that these decks aren't typically bought for just the good cards, quote unquote, right? Like, they're decks that are functional in and outside of themselves.
Yeah.
And also, they are decks that you could easily purchase, play with until you understand, and then modify to fit your play style. Yeah. Magic, you're buying for like 2 cards, and then you're rotating out the other 55, 56 cards of the deck.
You don't get, outside of the challenger decks, you don't get staples. You literally just get normal stuff. And these decks come with staples.
Yep.
Like, you're going to be running a lot of those cards, even as you find your way kind of later into this game.
Yep.
And that's why I always review these. That's why I always kind of say that they're a bit of a must-buy. Because, number one, the starter deck exclusive cards are good. If you literally just want the starter deck exclusive cards, you could just buy the starter deck exclusive cards off of TCG Player or something. But the big thing is, like, these cards...
the rest of the decks.
Yeah, the rest of the decks are still good. The decks are still good.
And I really have to... Something I have to say, again, we're not sponsored by Squeenix. Yeah. Hey, hit us up. We're open to it, though.
Yeah. Still looking for the spoiler card.
We say this a lot. We liked the starter decks when we got into the game.
Yeah.
Middle or beginning of Opus 3 when we got the game. So that's when we started the game, is back, 2017 era. And we liked the starter decks then. Most companies don't sit there and listen to feedback or get better at making their starter decks. They just get complacent.
Yeah.
Squeenix and whoever is working on these starter decks, they get it. They learn. Yeah. They're paying attention. They know what we want. Yeah. Every single time they make a duel deck, they're on point for where they should be, right? Exactly. You get a $25 to $30 value no matter what you're buying. Even with the dead card in the last 7 starter deck.
Yeah.
With the Choco Mog.
Yeah. Though, at the same time, Choco Mog was like a $3 card when the deck came out.
Yeah.
You couldn't use it in the context of that deck.
Yeah. But still, the decks are still well balanced against each other. Yeah. They're still balanced for new players, and they still have good value in the raw card form. So yeah, absolute must buy for me also, because they care. Yeah. They know what they're doing, and they're trying.
I think ultimately the crazy thing about the Sephiroth versus Cloud deck is the other dual decks had L reprints. Not just L reprints, but very good L reprints.
Right.
As we always say, Genesis in the first one, Diabolus in the second one, Cecil in the second one. Like, there's...
Yeah.
Almon at the time was an incredibly good card. Same with Vivi. Like, those were all very good cards. This dual deck doesn't have any L reprints, and it's still insane.
Yeah, it's
still
fine.
Really good. Like, the starter deck exclusive cards almost do better than L's. I'd rather have that Kate Sith than I would probably a good chunk of L's in the game.
Yeah, for sure.
It is fantastic.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I will sing the praises of these decks up and down. And I honestly, I'm not even that into 7. I'm really not. Like, I like it. I don't think it's bad.
Yeah.
But I prefer Crisis Core over the standard 7.
Yeah. Like, everybody can really attest to this. I like 7. I like 7 a lot, but it's far from my favorite 7. It's far from my favorite Final Fantasy game. The big thing that I always tell people is, like, if you like 7, you should play the other ones.
Yep.
Because they're very different, but you kind of grow this appreciation for all of them, including 7, the more you play. And that's honestly how I feel about 7. Like, my personal favorite's Tactics Advanced, as everybody knows. So I'm hype as hell for Opus 11, because there's so many Tactics Advanced cards. But the thing is, like, I still feel cool when I see that Sephiroth, when I see that Kadaj, I see that Aerith, like, it's...
Yeah, they make them presentable. They
really... To literally just give it, like, a visual review. All the cards still look nice. All the pre-release cards. Something that I actually have to check really quick. So I'm going to look at this, as though I haven't been looking at it enough today. Where's the Kate Sith?
It's further back.
Yeah. If I'm trying to remember if they use Opera Omnia art,
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah, they're using Opera Omnia art.
Yeah, so that's from the phone game.
Yeah, but it's still like that's the thing is like it just looks good.
Yep.
Everything looks good, and like obviously very happy that you get the 2 full arts.
Like, well, I mean, super nice. They know they have to now that they started doing it. They can't stop.
And like seeing that on display was super nice because I was like, oh my god, yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, that's our review of the 7 remake deck, the Cloud versus Sephiroth. Yeah, they're good. They're good. If we had to give it like a final like buy or don't buy, I'd say buy.
Oh yeah, buy 100%. Yeah, pass, fail, pass. Definitely a pass.
Good for collectors. Good for new players. Good for old players.
Yep.
Good for kind of everybody. Yeah. And I'm honestly amazed that we're 3 reviews into dual deck stuff, and everyone we're like, yeah, that's good.
That's just the nature of who we're dealing with here. Yeah, the creators and designers, they know their shtick.
Yeah, and the other cool thing is you only need to buy 3 if you want 3 of the full arts. Yeah, that's it.
Well, I mean, compared to Yu-Gi-Oh, where you need any playset of anything, you have to buy 3 of a structure deck, and they make you. I mean, you still end up spending $30 either way for this or that. Yeah, but things are a little different. So
yeah, it's good. I think we just kind of leave it at that.
Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah. So. Thanks for watching, everybody. We always appreciate the views. Feedback is always welcome as well. What else? We coffee link in the description. Yeah, if anyone would like to help us make our setup look better.
Yep. And then we are hopefully a little news update. We're gonna hopefully start recording remotely. I've moved quite a bit away, but I just got new headphones. I got a new audio system. Hopefully we can start doing these. And then you've obviously been very busy with school and stuff, so we're
school, work, job hunting. It's all fun.
So both of us have been kind of slowed down because of jobs, moving, everything. Yeah. But now that we can work remotely, we're figuring out.
Gonna take advantage of it. Yeah. I mean, we're not that far. We're still within an hour drive of each other.
Yeah, which is why I'm here right now.
But that hour drive can turn into 3 hours of traffic, depending.
Yeah.
So the internet's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, the internet's a beautiful, beautiful thing. But yeah, so hopefully we have some more stuff coming down the pipeline for you. And we're an hour in, so we should probably just cut it.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys at the Summoners Cup coming up. Yep. That's going to be on the 7th.
Yep. 7th at Gaming Goat in Elmhurst. Yeah.
I believe Elmhurst, yes.
Yeah. Hopefully we can put out this video before that.
Oh, I'm going to.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna make an effort too. So.
Yeah, so you're not sure if you can go. You're going to try. I'm going to be there if you want to hang out.
Yeah, work, call me in.
I'm going to try to... Yeah, I'm going to try to... Let's see how far I can get.
Yeah.
Wish me luck, please. I'm going to need it. E-Man's going to be there. I'm definitely going to need it.
Oh, boy.
I hope that he focuses more on all 3. All right.
Okay, well, we will see you guys later.
Goodbye.
Hey, Ty, is it still cool if I spend the night before Summoners Cup?